Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Toy Duo Team, and it's episode 98. Roll the music.
When you have a plastic addiction and your shelves are overflowing, when you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out, just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo Team brings you what you need, the toy news you did not know you needed. Toy News, it has it all for you. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle. You can have more action figures that will ever fit on your shelf.
And that is the version where everybody says, "Isn't there anything more?"
Honestly, I was rocking into it. I want more. Is there more?
There's a longer version. There's a longer version. Maybe we'll put it in there. Anyways, welcome back to the show. It's the Toy Duo Team. We're going to talk about action figures, movies, TVs, whatever comes up. We got Sir Eric is back on the show.
Yes.
He missed the final episode of the Skeleton Crew conversation. So, oh well.
Yeah, I was ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dino's here, but we don't want to talk about the Skeleton Crew because he might fall asleep. I don't know if we want to talk about anything because he's too busy on his phone. Maybe I'll just minimize him away.
I'm trying to load up this stream so you can get at least 2 people watching.
At least 2. All right. Anyways, we'll just say hi to Gary and Prophet who are out there chatting in. There's a few other people watching, so don't forget to chat if you can. David R is here.
How's it going?
All right. So we got a pretty good show. I think there were some pretty good reveals this week. I know Star Wars had their stream, right? We'll talk about some Star Wars figures.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they were doing a stream this week.
Yeah,
it was on short notice.
Yeah, they just announced it, and the next thing you know, they had Star Wars figures announced. Star Wars figures we've never seen before.
Never.
Anyways,
Ahsoka centric, right? Yeah.
Anyway, so we like to start the show with a thing we call bragging camp. So does anybody have anything that they want to show off this week?
I have some stuff, but
all right,
you can
there you go. Okay, you want Dean to go first? There you go.
Ooh, I get to go first. I actually picked up a razor this week. So
and then he tried to make some sort of a post on Instagram saying, "Which one do you like?"
I thought you were gonna bring out like a machete or something.
No, I finally picked up some lighting for when I do toy unboxings and stuff. Instead of just a ring light, I think this is kind of like what I think Sean Solo was using, and I'm a big fan of Sean Solo when he was doing reviews.
Do you know what? Do you want me to tell you what Sean uses? He uses these really cheap desk lamps that have like a little bit of an arm, and then they have like a little cone, but he's got like 3 or 4 of them on his desk.
Yeah,
it's all shining thing. That's what he uses.
Yeah, but just the idea of him getting more lighting, setting it around instead of a ring light, because the ring light's kind of a pain in the butt.
So does that light change color, or do you have to put in like a little filter screen?
It changes color. It even has colors in it, so you can do. I think.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like I don't know if you could see like the blues and stuff, but
yeah.
But
you should do all your reviews and stuff like that using the red light.
So I got those, and I actually just put out a video about 5-10 minutes ago on a toy hunt, and I'll let you guys check out the video. I don't want to show you those. Really, really cool stuff. Also, I picked up this week.
Is that
cool.
The
Kane?
Kane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know who Kane is, but I collect all the retro Spider-Man hardbacks.
Oh, okay, so any figure could be on that card and you'd pick it up.
Exactly. Anything. It wouldn't matter. So like the other figures, except for Chameleon, I want Chameleon really bad. He's the only one I really know from this wave. I don't even know little Spider Boy, but that's from a different cardback. The writing's different, so I don't really care about that.
I had that Agent Venom on pre-order.
Yeah, they had like 6 of them at Target.
Oh wow!
I passed on it because again, it's a whole different style, and I don't really know that character. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but
I got it mainly because it looked cool.
I also picked this up. Say it once, say it twice, just don't say it 3 times. We got Beetlejuice,
Ooh.
NECA.
That says Beetlejuice on it.
It does. Beetlegeist. So this figure, I'll do a unboxing if anybody wants to check that out.
Is that the
nice.
Michael Keaton version?
Yeah. There's only one.
Well, there's
So
the
this is
animated wasn't, I guess.
Yeah, true. I think the packaging. This is the front of it. I mean, I thought that's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just the movie poster, which they normally would do.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
I think that's cool, but like I have to imagine if it's like sitting on a shelf, it wouldn't get as much
Yeah.
as many people like attracted to it initially because it kind of looks just weird.
Yeah, this
I
is a
think-
sticker too on it.
I
Okay.
think that if they were stocking that and that was all they had to go by, they might stick that in the hardware department next to the
Yeah, right.
Like
the
roach
Raid
spray.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And last but not least, that I'm going to show today is it's my first Mezco figure.
Oh wow.
Ooh, tote.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting thing, right? Like that's the character you chose?
Yeah, I wanted to get the Hasbro version of this guy because of the melting face.
Yeah.
But-
Okay.
And it's not good enough, the Hasbro one. It only has like one head where it's melting. This comes with like 3 different
Oh,
melting
it's got the
stages.
different stages.
Oh, I see.
It
But you
comes
can
with
get
an
a
arc.
lighter.
It comes with the arc, and it comes with a ghost.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, okay. I
So
see.
for $2,000, you can't beat it, you know. No, this was 120.
Oh, wow.
So
Interesting.
the arc actually lights up too.
Oh, that's cool. It cracks open and yeah.
Yeah, we open it up and it has like a light switch, I guess. I mean, I haven't even opened it yet because I want to do an unboxing review on it. Not review because I don't really do reviews. I just do unboxings because every time I open something, I really like it unless it breaks like a NECA figure.
All right, you know what? I am derelict in the chat, so I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's see. Defo waiting on reviews. Prophet want to see the scale with adult figures. He's talking about Spider Boy. Has an interesting look, but it was slightly. That's one of your pickups, by the way, or did not pickups.
No, that was on the back.
Let's see.
It was small. I think Spider Boy is smaller compared to the other.
And then is NECA doing 18 figures? Oh, or is he just really
No, he
wants them to do them?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can take me up full screen because
Okay. I think Eric's going to go next. But anyways, wait, before we get started, Eric, let's say hi to Star Wars, the Plastic Underworld. We got Jonathan Redmond's here. Let's see. Jumpy McClunky came in, and then I think I'm caught up. So all 6 of us are here.
Hey, fellas. So it's been a while since I've been on. I'm wearing one of mine. I have a new Chewbacca sweatshirt.
is that a new one?
Yes, this is a new one. This is from that company, Roosevelt's. It's their like thin like performance hoodie, so it's not like the cotton one I usually have that I got at Disney World. So this is cool. New Chewbacca sweatshirt.
I like it.
Other than that, I got a few new Black Series over the past couple weeks.
Oh, look at that.
Vernestra,
That's an interesting character. What show is that one from?
Acolyte.
I'm just
Yoda without ears.
Well, I wasn't sure if you genuinely forgot about her because she wasn't as present on the show as maybe expected. But
but did they? Oh, I like that one.
Basil is cool.
Yeah,
He's got the sensory goggles too that come down.
So his hat comes off, or it's molded on?
It's molded on.
Oh, okay.
It's just the sensory goggles or blindfold is like on a hinge that goes up.
Did he ever take the hat off?
I'm not sure he took the hat off, but he flipped down the goggles or the blindfold. And then I also got these in.
Nice. Yeah, I watched a couple of
The
reviews
new
on those.
new Luke and Leia. The
Oh, those are cool.
the plastic skirt on Leia looks good, but these things just make posing so difficult, even with the splits. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part about the plastic pieces.
But
Now, would you be fine with like half and half?
Yes, but I understand why they do it, because like when you have the molded plastic, it looks better,
Yeah.
right? It just makes posing more of a challenge. So it's always going to be a trade-off. And then the new Farm Boy Luke is their best one yet. I mean, it's still kind of like, I think.
Do you think a head swap would make that better?
Sorry.
Do you think a head swap would make that better? Like you take maybe the ceremonial Luke's head or something and throw it on there? Do you think it would look better?
I think this one's fine. I think it's just more is the hair. I think is not right. I don't know. I really don't understand what it is about. Yeah. So
I think the hair looks off too. I think that's probably one of the main things because I don't remember
the likeness is serviceable for Mark Hamill. I don't know what it is about Mark Hamill and Luke figures that make the likeness more challenging. But what else? I'm not sure. Did I show this off? This is just cool. I had to get a Red Hulk. So I mean, it's the MC. I normally don't go for MCU ones, but like it looks plain enough to.
I'm sorry, but the chest hair cracks me up.
Well,
do you wish it was flocked?
Yeah,
I do wish
flocked. Flocked Hulk. That'd be weird.
I found both that Luke and Leia, by the way, at Target, and I left them because there was no Target Circle coupon or anything, and I wasn't going to pay $25 a piece for them.
They're going to be available for a foreseeable future. So,
all right,
they're good though.
I'm just going to show these off. I did pick up these two Valaverse figures, the Michael Jackson outfitted ones. And I guess you choose which color you like better, or you can just pick up both. But I did head swaps on both of them because I cannot stand that Pandora head sculpt. It just, to me, looks awful. I think I even put them away so I never have to look at them again. But I think they look pretty cool. Gonna do a whole Cagney and Lacey type of thing with them.
You should do a video on
switch their heads, or
I swapped them. So these are the Marvel. This is the Marvel Legends Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
Sits in there, and then this is the Kate Bishop.
Okay.
One, the actual head sculpt, it's like she's got like a mohawk, but they just
got
look bizarre to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Those look good.
I did do a review, Dean.
I'm just teasing you.
I know.
I watched them all.
All right. So before we move on to the next segment, we talked a little bit last week about this Maximum Series Spider-Man. Eric, you weren't here, but you saw the reveal on that, right?
Oh, yeah. I wish I could have been here last week to discuss that. I'm probably still going to pick it up, but it's the price point might make me think twice.
Well, we did talk about the price last week, and there were a lot of speculation. We did this whole like price is right, what's your price type of thing. But during the week, let me just put this up. So during the week, I saw this tweet on Twitter, and it was a post over from Facebook or whatever, and it was showing that this figure was potentially 1,199 pesos. So I went and I found the website where they have it, but they have it listed with a 222, like in a line, 1,199 pesos, right?
So this is
220 pesos is $10, so there's no way it's going to be like $10.
Yeah,
but they have it with a high price of $59.99.
So
that's basically
$60.
Yeah, so that's basically the US equivalent. But they're saying that that's not the final cost, right? And then the other thing is somebody was posting that they had saw that in Canada, somebody was saying their systems are showing it at $50 Canadian.
Okay.
Right?
Really?
Which I think, yeah.
So that would be like 40
potentially.
Yeah.
So
I
one of
heard
the things
$50 in the state.
Yeah. So one, what?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. So one of the things that I did was some people were commenting and stuff like that, and I wanted to pull this up where somebody's Dave is saying like it's a hard pass if it's anything over $35. And AJ is saying $60 is a pass for me. He was thinking it would be 35. He thinks that would be just right for deluxe, right? And I think the problem when you say deluxe, yeah, okay, so I see the Captain America, the Falcon are kind of deluxes. They're both $40. The Doc Ock, he was kind of like a deluxe. He's $40. That Phoenix came with that bird, which I guess they might consider a whole second figure somehow. So that's why that's why they thought that was $50. But I think the idea behind calling this a deluxe is false, right? So I wanted to like have the conversation kind of again because of what it's being called, right? Like, I mean, do you consider that a deluxe figure, or do you consider that an upgraded figure, like in a different tier than a regular Marvel Legends? Because that's the way, to me, they were trying to bill it. They were trying to say like, hey, this is a Marvel Legends and we just made it a deluxe by like throwing a bunch of extra stuff in the package, which they do for a deluxe. They're saying we went in and we retooled that figure from head to toe. We made all of the points of our take better, and this is like a new series. They're calling it the Maximum series.
Yeah. So they're clearly not trying to draw parallels with deluxe. They're creating a new product line called these Maximum series. So given that, I can't imagine they'd use the same price point first and foremost, right? Otherwise, if they were going to use the same price point as a deluxe, they'd be calling it like
A deluxe.
deluxe. Now, like that doesn't necessarily mean you can't have the Maximum series and the deluxe line have the same price point, right? Those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's just like it'd be kind of weird if if those things matched up. My guess is just based on the volume of accessories and whatever marginal like upgrades you get in articulation, I can see them bumping up $5 from the deluxe price point. I don't necessarily agree with it. It's just if I was a betting man, I would say it would be deluxe plus $5, and that kind of aligns with what you were saying with what the price points were in Canada, right? So like,
Yeah.
I think like $40. It should uh, that that offering should never be twice as much as a standard Legends, or like it should never be $50 if the retail is 25, right?
So it's 50 because it's an upgraded figure, and then it's got accessories.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it should be less. I wouldn't expect it to be twice as much as a standard release. I would expect it to be in between deluxe and twice a standard. So I think that 40 is probably 40 US is a realistic expectation. 40 or 45.
Right.
Yeah, I think I disagree with that a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't just have better articulation. Like they improved on the hips, they improved on a lot when it comes to the articulation. They're also really improved with the paint. Like the paint lines on Spider-Man, they say it's cleaner and just much more paint lines on it. I think the paint work and the articulation and all the accessories, I think it's like you said before, they're trying to compete with a whole different.
Yeah, but like I guess my counter to that is there's always like quality issues with Hasbro figures, whether it's like Marvel Legends, Black Series, classified, you name it, right?
What's the quality issues you're talking about?
Like paint misalignment and whatnot, like paint getting rubbed in areas that you wouldn't expect. I guess my point is, I think we've kind of been accustomed as like people who buy these products from Hasbro to expect that level of quality. And I think it would be weird if they all of a sudden decided they had a more premium product offering that commanded like a higher attention to detail and higher quality
but that's what I
standards.
think that they see. This is
They might be trying to shoot for that. I'd be skeptical of them really like having, if that's their aim, there can't possibly ever be any issues with like paint ever.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So Jonathan's saying that the neck sculpt was the only new thing, but Dean pointed out that on the stream they did say that they opened up the hips a little bit, and they said it was completely retooled. But this is where the rope-a-dope comes in, right? Because if you listen to what Dwight was saying, he actually said something like, because I thought they were going to go through like every point of articulation, right? When they were going to do that. And they did talk about the toes, because the toes have that little thing. They talked about the hips being opened up. Then it sounded like he said they took the best of the articulation from other figures and kind of made it into that figure, right? Where I'm guessing the arms and stuff like that, and then they added that. So I get what you're saying, Eric, about like saying if they want to hit that higher price point, there can't be any sort of like issues. But
Quality.
if you look at SH Figure Arts or Mayfex or something, there are sometimes issues with those, but they take care of them. If you remember, Sean Solo had gotten that Final Fantasy figure, and apparently like the face was messed up, but they do send like the new face sculpt, right? So eventually, I mean, hopefully there'll be a little bit more QC on it. They got like 5 more people looking at it. You'll get that Inspector 12, if you remember that old commercial system. You know, inspected by 12.
But the interest, but I like, and I might be wrong. I'm not in the room with those people at Hasbro, but I don't think people have been overly concerned about the quality levels of the figures. I think it's more like what they're really trying to shoot for is like, hey, we have this like Marvel Legends figure that you like, but it's got all this extra crap with it, all these extra accessories. That is like, I guess I just don't see them really competing with those like imports, right?
Yeah,
I think that the gimmick is we're going to throw in every accessory under the sun you could possibly want.
Okay, but we're talking about Hasbro, so yeah, okay, so they made a figure, they upgraded pieces and stuff like that, right? And we're saying like, okay, maybe the idea is that they were going to make this supposedly, you know, the upgraded figure that, you know, you know what I mean, right? So hold on, does it is it like they said that, but they just so they could push that higher price point? Because I really feel like they want to push that higher price point, and I think it's going to backfire on them. All right, so I'm going to pull up that website because these are the best pictures I feel like I could find. And then, like, I mean, I feel like
the line work on that. That is incredible.
That spider right there looks like it's not really painted, like it's you know, leveled. Look at the hands right here, the extra hands that with the button coming out on the palm, right?
Hand detail looks great too.
You can see that the joint right here on the hip, it's opened up at the top, you know, right here to get that better articulation. And then it has that little up and down. We've seen that before, right? And then let's see. And then it has that little toe hip piece. But there are, you can see it's got like some, I mean, it looks like that's the thing. They did not go through it enough in my mind to say, yeah, this should be more
competing with an import, right?
Yeah, but
that looks like a Legends figure, and Legends figures are good, but like,
I have to disagree, man. I think it looks even better than a Legends figure. But I guess I don't handle legend figures, but I'm really impressed with it. All the lines, all the spider web.
But are you going to pay $60?
I'm not going to buy it anyways, even if it's $30, because I only collect these things.
Well, what do you think? I guess what do you think the price point should be, though?
I think 45.
What it should be?
Yeah, looking at realizing that like standard release is 25, deluxe is 35.
Okay.
That offering, what do you think that should be? realistically.
I'll tell you. This is where I feel like these come in, and I can put it in this category right here with the Phoenix, right? Where
Phoenix
maybe
is 50, right?
it's 50, but it's like I could say that if these are the prices that they went with, I wouldn't go down to the $39.99 just because they said if the figure really is as upgraded as they claim it is, because it's got that extra detachable piece, whatever, they did some work on the figure, right? If the figure is really as good as they want it to be, then they can't just price it like a deluxe,
Right.
because they're got to be saying it's more than a deluxe. And if it's
I
not
thought the
more,
deluxe was 30. These are what, 40 and
they're $40.
50? Okay. So yeah,
So
45, 50. Yeah.
those other ones, the Captain American stuff, are like 40, $39.99
I thought those were 35.
They're
Sorry, I
35.
misspoke earlier.
in the
Baldy.
store, but not on Pulse.
At Target, I scanned it in both
Well, I'll
Captain
pull up
America
Hasbro Pulse.
and
They shouldn't
Falcon
do that for
35.
Spider-Man, but a lot of other figures they probably should. But Spider-Man needs the ab crunch for certain
Yeah.
Spidey poses.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the Captain America.
But yeah, I would expect it to be marginally higher than deluxe, but it can't exceed. I don't know. Like it, I just don't. I just don't. I fundamentally don't think that product offering is worth 2 Marvel Legends figures. I don't think there's enough in there to warrant twice as much of a price point. It looks good, but I don't think it looks so great where I think I should
this is
pay
where
twice as much, even with the accessories.
Okay,
I think,
so this
yeah.
is what they did in the past, right? When they came out with that new Captain America Bucky figure and they upgraded the body, and they were like, "Oh, everybody's been asking when you're going to update the Buck mold, right? The Bucky mold," and they upgraded it, and then they released that figure. That was a standard figure, and now they're kind of using that upgrade. So it's not that what they're trying to sell you, because they're calling it something else. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they would have just said, "Hey, we got this all new Spider-Man upgrade that we're going to be doing, and this is going to be our new Spider-Man." So they're obviously want to charge more.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying I don't think it should be like I think Gary was saying 45 is fair. Like, yeah.
But that's basically saying it's the same price as the old figure then. Because we just saw on the website that Captain America with the wings is $39.99. So if you guys are saying it should be $40, you're saying that the updates to the figure don't factor into the cost at all.
Well, I don't like. I think the point. I think the point is that regardless of what kind of upgrades are on that figure, it's ultimately still a Marvel Legends figure, and you wouldn't expect that much more in terms of like a quality jump from that to an import.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I do remember a time when Black Series came in 2 different sizes.
Yeah.
And they called them both Black Series.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I think I would like it to be 40. But seeing the actual deluxe figure prices and not just assuming they were 35 like I was assuming, 45, 50 is probably what they're going to be, but I don't think all the extra accessories are essentially the cost of a figure. I don't.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I think that what Hasbro's trying to sell you is that they supposedly have this new improved figure, which is just on par with the quality of these like import things that they're competing with. And I think we've heard the rumor that they wanted to compete with them before, so that's why I think that price point. But I don't see anybody in the comments saying, yeah, I'm definitely getting that for like $50-$60. Everybody's at the $40 price point, so I think Hasbro's in a lot of trouble with that figure.
Well, even if it is $50, I mean, a lot of times like Targets and stuff like that have sales.
So well, then you're not paying $50.
Well, is this even guaranteed to go on retail, or is this like a
Fan
Pulse
channel, I think.
exclusive or fan
yeah.
channel? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
so
know
they're
that.
not even going to be on shelves.
The only thing we can hope for is that when Big Bad Toy Store pops it up on their website, they put it up for $35 like they did this figure.
Did they really?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
by
if you were to order it
accident,
within
right?
the first couple of hours before they realize they guarantee the price. All right. I think we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll probably pick it up. I just we'll see at what price point.
Sorry.
Yeah, if they made a Lou Ferrigno Hulk in that, I would definitely get it. I'd get it
Oh,
50,
Luke Rigno,
75.
yeah, to go with that 70s Spider-Man, and then if they can do the Thor that was in the Hulk
Yeah.
movies,
Oh
that would
God.
be
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
And the Captain America too, right? They had
Oh
a
yeah,
Captain
yeah,
America.
yeah. Or even the
I'm all
Thor
in
that
on
was
that.
even the Thor that was in Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, that would be
You know,
fun.
you could make a custom one.
Yeah.
By buying Kingpin and head swapping them, and then putting the yellow hair on them, because it was D'Onofrio that played that role.
Oh, I haven't seen
Really?
that since I was a kid.
Yeah, D'Onofrio.
That's the
played
same actor that played.
the Thor in the Adventures in Babysitting. Yeah, the mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Kingpin.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
He was also
He was in Full Metal Jacket, the crazy guy.
He was also in Men in Black in the opening sequence.
Yeah, he was the roach guy.
Yeah.
Really?
All right.
It's been a while
Anyway.
since I've seen those.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, it's episode 98. So we got a little bit of history of 1998 that you did not know you needed. And I had to say did not know you needed because I spelled it wrong and I have not changed it. Didn't. Hold on, I got a cough. All right. So, anyways, what do you remember from 1998, Eric?
I don't know. Was that was like time of like Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that kind of music. That's all I remember is like I think I was in fifth grade then.
Great year, yeah.
I remember going to the speakeasies.
Pokemon was getting big.
All right.
No.
Pokemon's at McDonald's right now in the kids' meal.
Is it? I thought they had Transformers. So is that
mine is like? I think mine is currently still got Pokemon, so you can pick up the cards. They come with like 4 cards in a thing. All right. So, anyways, the MP3 was created for the very first time in 1998. Marvel in 1998 offered the cinematic rights to almost all its characters to Sony for $25 million. Sony rejected the offer and only purchased the rights to Spider-Man for $10 million, believing movie audience would only care about him.
Well, thank God, because Sony movies are largely garbage.
The world's biggest search engine, having the biggest database of users, Google Inc. was formed on September 4th, 1998. Google was just a search engine at the start, but the corporation soon had other interests and in the field of technology, which included online advertising, cloud computing, software, hardware, and today Google stands among the top 5 companies of the world.
Man, imagine buying into that in 1998.
I read an article where they had some people come in to do tests of Google. They were testing it, and the people came in and they sat there for like a couple of minutes just looking at the screen. And when they asked them what was wrong, they said they were waiting for the page to load because they thought there should be more than just the little search box.
It was very different. I remember only first hearing about Google in '99 when I was in 6th grade. This one kid in my class was advocating for it and showed us it, and, like, we're all using like Ask Jeeves or Yahoo. But I thought it was very different because it wasn't like ad heavy. right?
Right.
It was very bare bones. So
So yes,
almost
Blade
didn't
did.
trust it.
Yeah, Blade did come out in '98. We talked about the
Oh,
figures last week. iMac is among the very first ones that developed the Macintosh desktop computer designed. Oh, is the first one built by Apple, is one of the prime products of Apple, and it had its debut in August 1998 with over 7 different improvements. The iMac evolved over time. It was a CRT monitor enclosed with a translucent case, while also added the option for a solid state drive or hard disk storage, along with the aspect of Apple Fusion Drive.
those were
My,
cool. I never had one, but those were cool.
my fondest memory of that iMac, the one with the clear top, is when on Zoolander they go in there to break into the computer and they're telling them it's in the computer and they like throw it on the ground.
I don't remember that part. I probably fell asleep.
Right. The famous show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire debuted in 1998 in September.
Regis Philbin.
Yeah,
Is that your final answer?
that was a good show.
Yeah. All right. And then, of course, there's my brother telling us that the year internet privacy ended. JT is saying that the World Cup was in France.
It was.
Apparently, for people who watch sports. But that wouldn't
Brazil.
include any of us nerds. All right. Anyways, here's some what? Yeah, I know you do. I'm just kidding. I was surprised, by the way, that Buffalo won last week. Happily surprised. But I didn't think that was going to happen. So we'll see what happens this week. Here are some movies that came out in the 90s. You had Armageddon.
Great. I was just thinking about that movie the other day. I got to rewatch it.
Nicolas Cage was on a run in the 90s, obviously, because he had The Rock, Snake, or Face Off. What did we have last week? We had another one, right? And then this week, he's Snake Eyes. This is probably when he started to go down.
One was Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, I don't remember that Snake Eyes.
Con Air.
Con Air was good.
The Truman Show. We had Small Soldiers came out, which is all about action figures. Didn't you wish your action figures?
Phil Hartman's last movie.
Was it really?
I think that was Phil Hartman's last project. Yeah.
What, Small Soldiers?
Yeah.
Who do you play in that?
I can't remember.
Wasn't he like the dad or something?
No, he maybe. I can't remember. But I had like all the toys from that movie.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they're worth a lot of money now.
Are they really? They were trash.
Yeah.
I remember playing with them. Like I was like, "Oh, this movie looks cool. I'm gonna get the toys."
You should have held on to them. They're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the monsters are worth the most.
Oh well.
All right. Anyways, here are some action figures that came out in 1998, and they had 2 versions of the Small Soldiers figures. They had the 12-inch line and that 6-inch line. Which ones did you have all of, Eric?
No, I didn't have all of them, but I had the 6-inch.
Oh, okay. I always wanted a couple of those 12-inch ones and never picked them up. I remember looking at them going, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And then I just never did it.
Yeah.
But apparently the hottest selling toy in 1998 was
Furby.
that Furby dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember Furby. I never had one.
I had the ET version.
Was there an ET version?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't necessarily. It was kind of the same, like electronic type of thing. You know, it was around that time. But yeah, Furby's. I kind of want to get a Furby for my collection. I think I might need it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what other toys?
Well, with everything else, like what's missing, right?
Right.
People come down here. They're like, "Where are all the Furbies? I'm out of here."
Do you have Tickle Me Elmo?
No, that's too old.
So if Deep Impact came out in 1998, was that like the year of like disaster movies then? Because it was Deep Impact, Armageddon.
Yeah.
Was there another one where like meteorites crashing into the earth and stuff like that?
Wasn't it? Well, I don't know what year that one. Where they drilled into the center of the earth.
What's the movie where they all had to make it to some submarines?
Yeah, that was.
Was that? Oh, that was 2012.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, I
When did
missed
that
it.
come
I was gonna. It's not a disaster movie, but I was wondering about Starship Troopers. But that was
Well, that was
97,
98 too, right?
97,
Oh,
I
okay.
think. Yeah.
All right. So Deep Impact was competing with Armageddon. How do you compete with a bunch of like drillers going up to an asteroid and
You
drilling
can't.
with like special drills to plant a bomb?
Great,
And then
great music, great story.
Wouldn't it have
Bruce
been
Willis.
easier to teach astronauts how to drill?
no, because you can't just teach somebody how to do something.
That Steve Buscemi was in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But I
All right.
remember that song was like at every dance
Oh yeah,
Like, when I was a kid. Yeah.
Was that about the time that you find out that that was like the Aerosmith guy's daughter?
yeah. Liv
Around the
Tyler.
time it comes out, Tyler?
I don't think
Or was it before that?
I don't think I cared at that time about like celebrity families. I think I more was aware that she was Steven Tyler's
Right.
daughter for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they don't ever have to pay taxes ever again.
Okay, so apparently commentary track is amazing. Ben Affleck makes the same point about teaching NASA astronauts. But they got a good deal because they never pay taxes again, right? That's what Prophet's saying.
All right. Somebody's got to mute Bender. Aerosmith is kind of corny. Come on.
They did a whole series of music videos, and like his daughter, and then the one girl that was popular at the time were in all the videos, right?
Oh yeah, that's weird, objectively, but yeah.
They're from Boston.
Yeah, that's what makes it even more weird. All right, so this week on the TV and movie news that you did not know you needed, we are not talking about Star Wars. We're talking about Star Trek. Has everyone seen Section 31 streaming on Paramount Plus?
Is that Star Trek?
Yeah.
I didn't even
What?
know it was Star Trek. I watched the trailer to this, and I'm like, I am so not interested in watching this.
Those characters do not look like they're in Star Trek.
No.
They don't?
What's it like? What's the premise of this show? Because
Okay.
if I did not see the Star Trek logo, I would think this is like a Fifth Element comedy.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
The trailer.
Okay,
was
so
like,
here is the premise. So when they rebooted all the Star Trek episodes before the Discovery folks went into the future, there was like a mirror episode, right, where they mirror universe. And then the Giorgio, who was like the captain of the Discovery in the beginning, she comes back from the mirror world, like her mirror version. So she's, in the mirror world, it's all about like stabbing somebody's back to get to the top or whatever. But anyways, like the premise is that Section 31 is this secret organization within Starfleet that goes and runs like covert ops missions and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she ends up going to work for Section 31, and they have all the secrets of the show, right? Like they have all the secrets. So I watched it. Does anybody care about spoilers?
I'll never watch it.
All right, so let's see. Dave's Dimension says Star Trek doesn't have to take place on a ship. No, it doesn't, but it does have ships in it. JT is saying that it isn't good, and Mr. B is saying Star Trek is lame, and then I'm getting nobody cares about.
I don't know. I have to disagree. I think Star Trek does have to take place on an
So,
Enterprise.
the premise of Section 31 to me was like, this could be really good. Unfortunately, it was only partly good.
Okay.
Right? Like it was, to me, it was like just the starting of it was like super corny. It was like the Giorgio lady, she bailed on Section 31 and she was lost somewhere in the galaxy. And then the very first thing is like they pull up like a transmission and it's like, your team's objective is to go find this character and bring her back to Section 31 or whatever it is. And the whole time they were doing this like little transmission thing, I kept waiting for them to go, if you choose to accept this mission, you know,
Yeah.
like if you're caught or captured, you know, you'll be disavowed. I was waiting for the Mission Impossible thing to like pop up. So it was I think it was trying to give you the feel that this Section 31 is like the IMF, like the Impossible Missions Force or something like that, which could be a really good premise. You know what I mean? So the problem is, these are the characters.
That just does not look that. This looks like a CW show,
Yes.
right?
I'm telling you, like this guy on the right is kind of like the team leader or whatever, and he's kind of like a tough guy or whatever. So
He looks like he could be in the Village People. The guy on the right. The guy on the right, and then the guy behind him looks like he belongs watching the Raiders.
He looks like he should be in Dune. The guy in the back.
The dude behind him makes me feel like, did he just like see a Borg once and decide to like make like a suit, right? So
He's
it's
a
like
cosplay.
he's totally like the bootleg version of Cyborg from Justice League.
The guy on the left looks like
an elf.
He looks like an elf Vulcan combo, like some guy cosplaying as if Legolas and Spock like had a baby at Comic-Con. Yeah. That's what that looks like.
Okay.
And he's emo.
Okay, so the other thing is like, so that guy is supposed to be a Vulcan, right? But when you see him, he does look like he's got his hair combed forward. So I'm like, I haven't seen a like he's bald and he's trying to hide it, right? Like that's what I felt like at first. And then you know what he turns out to be? Do you remember on Men in Black when they had the little dude inside of the suit where he's controlling it?
Yeah.
Or that movie Inner Space where the dude where he shrinks down and he's hooked up to Martin Short. That's what this guy is. It's a robot that's controlled by this little microorganism type creature, right? Who's got a little chip in there and he's controlling this little robot body.
Oh man.
So it's crazy. And then the girl in the back is like the tough girl or whatever, right? Like,
oh, that's like, the tough one.
Yeah, they're trying to make her point or whatever. So, and
then you have Michelle Yeoh,
right? And of course, she's the main protagonist kind of character because she's the one that came from the Mirror Universe. She was the captain of the Discovery originally. But the thing is, it's like you get her backstory from the Mirror world, how she ends up in charge, and then she created some weapon that can destroy planets or something.
But it sounds like this was a movie or a show.
It's a movie. Thank goodness.
So but this movie has characters that were coming from prior Star Trek shows.
Yeah. So you
need to do homework to come into this.
No.
As well. Okay.
The main character here, the Michelle Yeoh's character, was on Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
So the only thing you need to know is that she was originally the captain of the Discovery before, you know, when the episodes first started, and then later. This is the mirror version of that captain.
Okay.
So she's in this world, and the threat to our galaxy basically is something that she developed in the mirror world to destroy planets. So that's like the premise, right? So
still, I think some of the
Ricardo's like, thanks for the spoilers. I asked everybody. I asked before I got started.
Some of the costumes just look too over the top to be taken seriously. I think it could have been an interesting premise, right? But like some of this looks over the top, and
Now, is this a movie or
it could be like? It sounds like it was a movie. It
was a movie. Thank goodness it's not a show. Yeah, because I would not tune in for any more episodes.
So was there a conclusion? Do you think there's going to be a part 2?
They left it open-ended to possibly build a show out of the characters or whatever, right?
That's so their intention is.
Yeah, so there was like an ending which would basically have all of these characters -1 for a potential show. One person doesn't make it to the end. Let me just put it to you like that.
Oh, can we guess?
You can guess if you want. I just won't tell you unless you want me to.
I bet it's the little robot thing.
Okay, so that's a good guess, because what I should have actually said was 2 of these characters don't make it, but one of them kind of gets a comeback.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's a different character. So yeah.
I'm not gonna say
Well, I was
this.
right.
So if you have Paramount Plus and you've got absolutely nothing else to watch, you
So
could
that's probably how you find
go
out,
watch
right?
reruns of Jerry Springer and then watch this.
That's probably what happens is that guy dies,
I
and
don't
that's
know if
probably
Jerry
when you
Springer's
find
on
out that there's a
Paramount.
little robot inside or a little creature
Yeah.
controlling it.
I mean,
It
like,
opens up. I'm safe. It's just me, little thing, and pops
Yes.
into another body, and
like
everyone's
it was
happy.
it was a good try, right? Like if it could have been a little bit more serious, but the problem to me was there was too much, like the brain. I call Star Trek the brain, the space stories with like a brain, kind of, right? But they tried to put too much of that into the show.
I know what you mean, but it's kind of a weird way to put it.
They should have just made this like more like Mission Impossible, right? Where it was just one action thing after another.
So
That's what
are
they
you
should have
saying that Star Wars is more of a dumbed down version of Star Trek?
did. Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
No, what I wanted to say was Star Wars is more of a fun down version,
Okay.
right? where I mean, honestly, right? Like, nobody's explaining to you how a lightsaber works. I mean, the
Right.
most they try to do is explain to you about the Force. Where Star Trek's trying to tell you how like this microorganism has like, genetically altered itself over the course of time by mutating with this other whatever inanimate piece, and they go to wholesome scientific.
Was that the trouble story? The life with trouble? So
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with this.
Well, it looks like
The production design of it, just like that one screenshot, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
There were a couple of decent things about it, and I honestly like spent probably a good third to of the show just scrolling on my phone while it was playing, and then just looked up when something interesting happened.
How long was it? Was it over 2 hours?
It was like a movie length, maybe like an hour and a half or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's an hour and a half I don't have to waste.
Yeah.
Thank
You'll be asleep by 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In. Yeah.
I watched the trailer and fell asleep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the most, I think that's the longest like movie discussion we've had about something.
So like that, so few of us have interest in. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
I feel like that could have been like a Mystery Science 3000 like discussion over the Star Trek.
Dude, I sometimes I want to do like a Mystery Science Theater thing one day and just like kind of just do an over talk of a movie while it's playing and then just hammer it, because sometimes it just cracks me up. Like I don't know what it is. I'm watching like this show and it's a police show. So guys got the person in the trunk. That person pops the trunk open and then jumps out. The guy doesn't know the trunk's open. Then he speeds into the intersection, realizes the trunk's open. But the next time you see the car, the trunk's perfectly closed because he's speeding around. And then the next thing you know, the trunk's open again. And I just hate it when they do that. There's no, you know what I mean? Like the car's driving down the street, there's a shootout, the front windshield's all damaged and stuff like that. And then you got that long shot of the car racing through the streets, but the car's in perfect order. And then when it pulls up and stops, it's all damaged again. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff throws me right out.
You're just too critical.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. I like the way Mercedes wouldn't say who dies and tells us who dies.
I think I guessed it, right?
Well, we don't know that person dies.
Yeah, true.
But it's not a person, you said.
It's a flea. It's a flea
Yeah,
that lives inside a robot.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Isn't that what happened in? Isn't that what controlled on the Skeleton Crew? That creature that come out of that robot's eye, wasn't that controlling the robot?
Oh, the little mouse.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dean thinks so because he fell asleep through the whole thing.
Yeah, that's all I saw was it come out and it dozed off.
All right, let's get to this section. This is the hot or not section. These are the toys revealed that you did not know you needed. What do you think is the first one?
Anakin. Nope. Okay.
This is what
I thought you were goading me. Yeah. Okay.
the Mafex Secret Spider-Man or whatever they call him.
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
So
It's
this
actually a
should be
good-looking
the first
figure.
one, Dean.
It's a good
They're
look.
doing a movie for him.
I think that's why it's trying to be popular, right? Like Nick Cage is supposed to be the voice or the character or something like that.
Yeah.
But Spider-Ham is still
John
looks like
Mulaney.
he's just a PVC figure.
It does. It doesn't look like he has much articulation, but we will see because
It doesn't
this
look
arm,
like it has any.
well, one arm's
that
bent,
looks like
one arm's not.
Yeah, but that looks like a statue. And
Wow.
that was
I don't like this picture, mostly because they took the picture in front of a painted spider on the back wall, which is the same color as the Spider-Ham, so it kind of throws it off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
like
that
3D
is kind of
blur.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like the way they did that photo. That's just me being critical of the photo, you know.
Yeah.
Now that's an odd decision by the photographer.
Cool. The Spider Noir looks great though.
Hard pass and Spidey Noir. Don't like how SH Figure Art does the articulation cuts on their Spider-Man figures. Well, good thing that Hasbro is coming out with the Maximum Spider-Man. Anyways, these are the Super 7 Thundercats, I guess, figures.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one
who
that looks
half
cool
these
to me,
people are.
this dude with the brown outfit, if it was a 6-inch figure, I'd be like, yeah, man, I think I want that. But
Yeah.
no, I'm not really interested in any of these.
Does that
I do
guy
like
have a
these.
monocle?
This is from the cartoon, right?
I never watched.
It's
I
gotta
was
be.
just a little too young for Thundercats. But
I watched.
is he wearing a monocle? It looks like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
I
it.
think he
I
has.
watched Thundercats, but I don't. I think I watched early seasons because I don't remember any of these characters.
That kind of character design would be cool in G.I. Joe Classified. Just make up some new character and like a safari type guy.
When I first saw this picture before I read Thundercats, I was like, is this like when I was seeing this character on the left, I was thinking like, is this like a new Flintstone line or something?
Okay.
It's like a Tarzan type of thing, right?
I guess you could get that, and if you could pair it with like a Charleston Heston or something like that, you can totally use it in your Planet of the
Oh
Apes.
yeah, Planet of the Apes. Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which in Spanish means no go. So when they named the Ford Nova no go or Chevy Nova no go, Spanish speaking countries just thought that was a ridiculous name.
True
the
story.
guy on the right looks familiar though. Like another
this guy?
character besides the Thundercat character, yeah.
Well, he's probably based on something else. Who does he look like to you with that big mustache?
It looks like
No
me
hair.
in my Instagram photo that I put on the other day.
All right, this is the soft vinyl Mondo Juggernaut in yellow.
Why?
Because Eric needs to buy these. They're only what, like $1,000, right?
I mean, it's cool, but why yellow? I just don't. Did he have a yellow?
It has something to
outfit?
do with the comic or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's see, Nova means no go. Poor Charlton Heston. Okay, Thundercats Motu crossovers. We're gonna get to those in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody wants the soft vinyl
No.
Mondo
Not into
$400
that.
Juggernaut. Okay. How about
This
Playface?
looks cool.
This is the Mondo 1/6 scale, so they're the 12-inch scale.
Yeah, I saw one of the guys that works for Mondo showing this off and talking about it. It's like a soft shell body kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of like crinkles and whatnot as you articulate it, because it's just like some type of skeleton underneath.
I wonder how it will last.
Oh, there you go. Does it remind you of Jumanji, Dean? That guy in the beige outfit?
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe, right. Yeah, that's probably who it is. Right?
These do look cool, Eric. I like them, but I think they're just priced a little bit too high.
I like the look of the Spider-Man. I mean, the Batman head sculpt for him. That's
yeah.
really cool.
I cut this picture. There was one picture that had like the Clayface fighting the Batman, but I didn't include that one.
I wonder if that's the upgrade, because there was two versions of this. One was like $225 and another one was like $250.
Yeah. Are you gonna get this thing?
Yeah. I no. I mean, it's cool, but no.
It's cool. If I did more DC stuff, I'd consider it, but no.
All right. And this is the Thundercats Motu crossover.
That's the He-Man Thundercats crossover, right?
Okay. Yeah. Motu.
No, He-Man. It's not Motu. It's He-Man.
It's not Masters of the Universe.
No, He-Man. It's always known as He-Man.
Okay. Well, I'll just call it Motu.
I think this is great. I think it's brilliant that they're adding different head sculpts to create the original character.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that the kits come with like everything you need. This is just set up in the two different versions. So this is a photo of how the figure comes with all the accessories, and then that's a picture of how the figure can be displayed, as either the regular character or not, right? The Thundercats character. I think they look really cool. What's the size on these, Dean? Are these like 6-inch or 7-inch?
They're what are the Motus? Are they 5-inch?
Oh, maybe.
But I think they are. I think they're $20 a piece. That's what I was told. So 5-inch, $20. I'll definitely get these. And a lot of people probably buy two to have two different characters.
Like that is because it's one body, right? Where you just swap the parts or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to end up doing, where they're going to like buy double so that they can have both.
Yeah.
Or they're going to take that hair right there.
Yeah.
They're going to take that hair, and then those figures, those where I was looking for one of my GI Joes where the hair comes off, you can swap the hair.
I like that you can do the boots, everything. I mean, it's a smart move.
That is pretty cool.
I wonder how far they're going to go with this line.
And there's the lion dude, Lino. Look at that. I don't have the pictures of him transform. I just pulled these off of like the website.
Yeah, that's a good Lionel.
And then so you guys are all into these for sure.
This is cool, right?
Negative.
Yeah. Negative.
Really? Yeah.
Well, I was just too young for Motu, He-Man, whatever, and Thundercats. Just like marginally too young. So I just, it's a sweet spot of indifference.
All right. So time for the rebuttal. You were too young then, but those cartoons are still around, Eric, and you're not too young to like pull them up and watch them.
No.
It was what was it, like 10, 15 years ago? Didn't they come out with a new version?
Within even more recent than that, like Kevin Smith had the Motu stuff on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
But I just never got into it. I played with some of the toys as a kid that like I never had them, but like when I was at friends' houses who had like older brothers, they'd have them. So it's not an indictment on the figures. I'm just not the target market for it.
All right.
Even though this is super cool, Battle Cat as a Thundar character. I mean,
Thundar. Now it's Thundar.
Sorry. But I think it's
turn it in. Turn in your nerd card.
I'll probably pass on this one.
Just
out of all of them, this is the coolest looking
Yeah,
figure.
it's
If
cool,
I-
but yeah.
Are you passing this one too?
No, I'll get all the other characters except for.
All
But
right.
who knows what happens? I might.
Are you
end
gonna
up
get
getting-
2 of these?
No, I'll only get one of each.
All right.
That'd be great if they made Thunder the Barbarian. That'd be a great crossover.
Motu introduced me to toys. They are levels above everything else. The cool thing about the Master of the Universe figures is that you could take them apart and swap the parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the other characters, yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
cool if you could transform this back into the cat, like the,
Yeah.
I
The
don't know
full
how they
size.
would do it, but
I don't either. Anyways, looks like the season 2 Walking Dead action figures that they came out in McFarlane's other scale, whatever it is, 5-inch, 2.5, 7 plus 7
is this
minus
McFarlane?
4. Who knows? I don't know
Yeah.
how he gets it. But
not having
Yeah.
it.
It is
they're
McFarlane, yeah.
cool. I mean, I just think that it's just been too long. Like
Yep.
who's, you know what I mean? If these had come out
10 years ago.
yeah,
Well,
or
why do you say that? If you're fine with Thundercats and Motu,
I don't. This
Then they should
doesn't
wait
bring.
20
This
years.
isn't. Yeah, this isn't a nostalgia thing at this point.
they should wait 20 years. But I will tell you that I do like the characters here. Season 2 was probably one of my favorite seasons.
yeah.
Was this season 2 or season 3?
I don't
The
know.
governor
This-
episodes
this
where they
was
went in the
good.
prison. That was
Governor wasn't season 2. That was
Okay.
later.
Oh,
this
that's right.
was the farm. Right?
This was season 3. No, this is actually the prison.
This is the jail, right?
Oh, no, this is no. You're right. This is the jail. The farm was what, season 1, right?
Was season 2. The farm was
Wow.
season 2. Then this one was season 3. Then where they met up with the governor, and then they
Okay.
were inside of the prison.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought
See, it's been
I
so
thought
long.
they were at the prison before they went to the governor, though, right?
I think they were at the prison, and then there was like a side story because you had a couple of the characters that weren't in the prison with them, because and then
Merle was with the governor, right?
right, but wasn't
Yeah.
the blonde lady here in the front? Wasn't she with the governor from the beginning? I
I
don't
don't
think she made
remember.
it to the prison. I think she was kind of on her own and ended up with the governor.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she
Oh,
got
wow.
split. She split up from the farm, right? There were like when the
Yeah,
farm,
that's what I think happened, and then so you had that other side story, right, where you're
yeah.
What was
Yeah.
her name?
don't know.
Was it Angela or something?
Angela,
remember.
right? Yeah, I
Don't
think it is
remember.
Angela.
It was too long ago, but
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
they were
It looked good.
if they were 6-inch figures, they would fit in perfectly with like your like GI Joe style,
Yeah.
similar to these like
Did you say
the
they're
Last
5-inch?
figures. I think that they're like an odd scale because they're McFarlane. I don't think they built them to be 6-inch. I don't know. I have to.
Well,
see.
you don't know. So if they are 6-inch, would you pick
I
up
would
any?
probably pick a couple up.
And there's supposed to be zombies with this also too.
I think so, and that would be really cool.
Most of the figures look okay, but the head sculpts are trash. But that's part and parcel of McFarlane.
I think Angela's might be a little bit off, but because it's been a while. I think the other ones look pretty good.
I think they look great.
The face sculpts.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think the figures look great. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't tell what
Yeah.
their faces
I
look
think
like.
the face sculpts
But
aren't
they're
too bad.
generic enough.
I mean, for a $20 figure, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not horrible.
We'll see. If I see them
Better
and they
than
look
the
good, I might
$50 figure.
pick 1 or 2 up. The governor does look funny though, because when I was trying to zoom in on it earlier, I was going to put a picture of it. I feel like his eye patch is way too high.
I think that's the lighting. I don't think you see as much of it in the bottom.
Yeah. I think that I just felt like the eye patch was off. All right. So Hasbro did their Star Wars reveals for action figures, and lo and behold, there's a 4-pack of vintage battle droids.
Are they wearing Jordans?
I don't know. Those are probably to help them stand a little bit better.
They look like they wear sneakers.
Are you
Yeah.
you're not a vintage collector, right, Art?
Well, I have
Yeah, he
some.
is. He bought the
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
I mean, I have the Razor Crest. Like I have
Roger.
TVC. I have TVC for vehicles, but like that's where like I don't have a need for a pack like this. I mean, if you're army building and want like prequels, this is a no-brainer. Although I don't think it was a good idea to do the like commander in this box. I think they should have had like a lower rank or some other variant and had the commander carded. But
Do you think they should do like a blind box of droids where like some boxes have a commander?
oh god, don't say that again. Don't let Hasbro think they can do blind boxes for like collector lines.
Blind boxes, dang.
Can you imagine that?
Don't, please, never. Yeah.
All right.
Now, I know this might be an ignorant question, but how many commanders would be in like a
like I'd imagine it's like 1 to 100 at least.
Yeah, all right. So then
do they need a commander if they're robots?
What's that?
I know it's a reasonable question. Like what does it like why do ranks matter with droids, right?
Right. So what's the commander do that's different from the other droids?
He said he's the one that says Roger, Roger.
Okay.
No, they say
It's
the only one that doesn't
just always
say
boggles
Roger,
my mind because they always came in on some sort of a ship with like the little hooks and they just got dropped on the ground in formation. And I'm like, so, I mean,
what's
somebody
the
else
purpose?
is obviously just like sending them the orders. And I'm like, what's the commander do? So they send the commander the orders and then he has to tell all the other battle droids what to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's inefficient.
It is, really is.
Because when they take out the command ship, don't all the droids just stop like functioning?
Only for episode 1, they got rid of the need for the command ships after the Phantom Menace.
Oh,
so
that's why.
So in the Clone Wars, they didn't need they didn't have that vulnerability, but they also had the super tactical droids. Remember in the well, I'm not sure if you ever watched the Clone Wars cartoons, but yeah, they need to do that figure. By the way, now that they did they have the BX Commando droid.
Right.
We need to get the tactical droids. All
right. Yeah, this is silly. Thanks, Jumpy. I didn't know why I didn't realize what the commander was for.
I think it's a good set. But I won't pick it up because I don't really collect prequel outside of the original packaging.
Now, so that would be wild if they did like a HasLab of the either the tank or the like dropship where you see the one like iconic scene from the Phantom Menace where they're deploying
where the front opens up and then the thing comes out.
Yeah.
I had one.
Didn't they make that ship? I know it's not a HasLab, but
I had one. I had one for a while. Yeah. I made
I think it's battery operated too, didn't it? Like it works. I think it's battery operated too.
It came. I think it was a Goodwill find, and I ended up getting rid of it because I was like, this is too big.
They even make a soda case, like a cooler.
I've seen that.
People do that, yeah. So, Eric, are you excited for these figures?
No, I'm not getting them. I'm glad the TVC community is getting these, but
Dean, are you excited?
The funny thing is why do they have like the guy smaller in this image and she is like so much bigger?
Well, do they have the scales right? Like are the proportions right?
When they showed them in a photo side by side, she looks smaller, but when they displayed it live on the turntable, I don't know if it was perspective or what, but they both look the same size.
Well, they were pretty much the same size in the Black Series. They made him smaller and her taller, so it compounded the problems.
But when they had an image, it looked like they were better scale. But when I saw it live, it didn't look like it.
I hope they are like better. The better proportions. They had enough time to get the proportions right.
All right.
Ahsoka came out like a year and a half ago. So
well, here's the flip side, right? So you're going to end up getting a different Balin skull next year or the year after or whatever because he's been
The
recast,
cape. Oh, I
right?
thought you were going to say adding a cape.
No, I mean because he's been recast. So
Yeah.
so eventually you're going to end up with a Balin skull with a different head sculpt.
Okay.
And then which one are you going to keep on your shelf?
Both.
All right. Balin is short for his figure, yeah. The Black Series scale on Balin was way off. There, yeah.
Yeah, I know about the thigh swap with Riva, but I didn't pursue that.
Yeah.
No. All right. They look good.
Hopefully
I
they-
mean, I think they did a fairly decent job. I don't feel like they took the shortcuts they did with that IG-12.
No.
Yeah.
These look good.
Here is the Commander, Mandalorian
No.
Commander.
No.
No, not interested. I think it's pretty nice that they did that.
I don't have enough like of a reason to have like a TVC like Mandalorian from the the Fall
Well,
of
it's from
Mandalore.
Ahsoka. If you said previously that was your favorite Star Wars show.
No, I didn't.
Are you sure? Rick said that last week,
Yeah. Okay.
and he said it's a fact.
Didn't they make this figure already? Besides, not on the same card back.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't.
I know they made this.
They made it in Black Series.
Yeah, I get. Like I have this or something similar to this in Black Series. Not from. I don't think it was themed from a look from Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I think they came out like a few years ago and were like a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, and then
or
they
something.
used the old Jango Fett body,
Yeah.
which kind of is a sucky
Wonky,
mold.
right? Yeah. But yeah, just I don't have enough TVC stuff to warrant getting this.
All right. And it looks like if you look at the picture, even though that's a digital render, I feel like the plastic on the bottom of the bubble is already crushed. So I think that's probably going to be just built.
That looks like more the paperwork that's stuffed under there. That's
Yeah,
bent weird.
does.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Then it's not going to come pre-crushed. All right. And here is the clone trooper from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
501st. Yeah.
Nice.
Looks
He's
all
going
right.
to come weathered. Battle
Good card
damage.
back. I like the card back.
Got some weathering. The card back looks good. I mean, the figure looks good too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Pass.
Hold on. Josh,
I'm not collecting anything outside of original trilogy.
gonna get the new one with soft goods so he can ride on the Howler.
Nice.
We'll rewatch the security footage to check if he said that last week. No, you don't.
I
have
like
to,
Ahsoka, but my favorite's Andor.
He did not say it. You don't have to go check. I just made that up. Darn, all these people trying to fact check me. Is this Commando a repack on different card? Just what Dino said. I have the old one somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right. So, well,
It's a good
I mean,
figure.
obviously they're coming out with these because people need troopers, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then Black Series, Anakin with soft goods.
Looks good. I have some issues with this. I think I kind of like, and I'm interested to see what the soft goods overlay will be like this compared to the Clone Wars one we got.
In that bubble thing.
The Target exclusive that was impossible to find. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this looks good. I'm excited to get this. It has the same stinking legs though as like all the old Anakin that's been around forever.
Yeah. I want to see the head sculpt because if the head sculpt looks really good, I may
swap it.
Just get it to do the swap with this one because
Yeah.
I think this looks fantastic. These
It does,
I don't feel like get in the way really.
Yeah.
They don't hinder anything. There is some soft goods underneath this
Yeah, I
part.
was just going to say that.
So, I mean,
But it's like inverted what they did, I think.
yeah. And the problem that I have with what they did is that soft goods, I don't think, because Hasbro just doesn't do good soft goods, and I don't think it's going to stand the test of time.
I don't know. I think the soft goods on this could work.
If you just leave it in the box, or you go take it out and you don't pose it and you just put it on your shelf on one of those spice rack things, you're fine. But I mean, for me, you know, I'm gonna want to take that thing out, pose it, do some pictures, and the next thing you know, the little chest part of the soft goods is going to be all messed up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it looks
time, so
it looks good. What they probably should have done though with this figure is also give the like spare red blade.
Right. You know what they should have
Yeah,
done?
that would make sense.
Because they were using soft goods, right? They could have just added some wiring into the soft goods stuff and then put the words Maximum Series on the box.
Yeah. Well, that would have came with the red blade.
Well, that we should save that for later. We should consider if they extend the idea of Maximum Series to Black Series, what or I guess like classified or whatever line. What would you expect? And, yeah.
Different hands, definitely, instead of trigger
we
fingers for every Star Wars character.
Trigger.
But what type of characters would warrant that treatment, right? I think like
the first one. Like, what should they do for the very first figure?
Should it be like a stormtrooper, or should it be like a Luke Skywalker or something, or Darth Vader?
Yeah, we can do a whole segment on that if you want. We can spend some time thinking about it. Do your 3D rendering mock-ups, and then we'll definitely do that. We'll do that for a segment. So let's start thinking about Maximum Series, and then should we all pick like a line, or do you want to just focus on Star Wars, or I don't say like if G.I. Joe was to do a Maximum Series, if Star Wars, like what would you want, right? Or should we just say Star Wars?
I don't know. I kind of think G.I. Joe almost does a Maximum Series anyways.
Okay, so Cedar Cephas C3PO gold leg, silver leg, red leg, $50 is right. That's all right. Yeah. Okay, so let's do it for next week. We'll have a segment and we'll talk about if Star Wars were to do a Maximum Series, and everybody bring your idea for your first launch and what it would include.
R2D2 with like a vintage style dome with this, pop-up lightsaber, sensor scope.
And here's Rex. I'm Rex.
Looks good. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, how many Rexes do I need?
Well, this will just be my third.
So what do you do with the other ones? You display them all?
Yeah, I have them on display. I've got the Phase 2 Rex with my other clones, and the Rex from the Bad Batch is just with my Bad Batch figures.
All right.
Yeah.
Did he came on that? He was in that bubble pack too, right?
I think so.
That Target exclusive set?
No.
That was the other
Walmart,
one.
right?
Yeah, okay.
It was Echo and the Pilot Hawk.
Oh, that's right.
This Rex I know came a couple of times. I have one. I think his uniform's dirty, and one where it's not dirty. I think.
That was the Bad Batch one.
Okay, that's what I have. All right. Let's see. And I think that wraps up the Black Series stuff, and everything is going to be available to pre-order 2 days ago at 1 o'clock.
I definitely saved money. I'm not buying anything here.
It's amazing.
Well,
right?
It sounds like they've got I mean, you said you're collecting just original trilogy at this point, right? So
and some of the prequels on card, but they have to be on card. No TV shows.
Yeah, so I mean, they were just trying to do something small for like Ahsoka plus the B1s. So.
Well, they said this was just a quick
small
little live stream, so I appreciate that. I think it's cool that they're doing that. I know I've read some.
A lot of people are pissed.
I'm like, why? I don't understand. Why they're going to do it more frequently. So what's wrong with that? If they have a few reveals,
if they're going to do these in the middle of the day, I'd rather them be shorter because, like, I'm listening to it as I'm working.
Because he can't
oftentimes.
take a 17-minute break. He's only allowed to take a 15-minute break unless he puts his 2 breaks back to back, and then he doesn't get a break after his lunch.
Well, did you see they showed the figures for the cantina?
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. I thought those
Oh,
were fantastic.
And they didn't like seem to show much empathy for the ghost shipping issues.
I know they showed off the fact that they had theirs. Hey, look, we got a ghost, everybody. We know you didn't get yours yet, but we got ours. Woo!
Well, I think, was it that, or they come in damage? What's going on with the?
Oh, well,
people still don't have that. I thought they said everybody should have it.
Well, they were saying that, but that I guess isn't true. Like there are people that are still waiting on theirs and haven't received the notices. Yeah, so that sounds out of touch. Granted, they might not be the ones dealing with all that directly, so like they only might know what they're told, but that's still a bad look. But like generally speaking, like they were supposed to come out and be delivered before the holidays. Full stop. They just they weren't like, for me, I had an issue. I had to adjust like travel plans around the holidays so I could be home for one of them.
And how many did you get? 1 or 2?
Stupid. 2. And then the second one came a few days later, but I didn't have any notice about it. So like,
is it just
I
me or
didn't
is
get
Eric
it tracking.
Yeah, he's going out a little bit. I think your
sorry.
internet's breaking up.
No, that's
somehow.
fine. I wasn't sure if it was me.
Oh, am I okay now?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Before you guys go on, I do want to say this. So in a couple of weeks, they're having the Star Wars Podcast Day, which is February 7th. So every year they do like try to get live streamers and podcasters together to do like special Star Wars related episodes or whatever. So on February 8th, on February 8th, we're going to do kind of a bunch of Star Wars related topics. We'll do some different Star Wars stuff that day. I'll surprise you guys, or if you guys come up with some ideas, you could surprise me with like a topic or whatever.
I have one. I think everybody has to come in with a hat, with a Star Wars hat.
Okay, we'll do a Star Wars hat day. If you don't have a Star Wars hat, you get removed from the stream to get upset and never come back. It'll be episode theoretically, that will be episode 100.
Oh, nice.
The Toy Duo team. So here's what I'm proposing for everybody who's left, who didn't just like bail because they saw the last toy reveal. Here's the thing. Take your Star Wars figures out, do some action figure photography with your Star Wars figures, post it on your social medias, hashtag Toy Duo, TOYDUO, hashtag Toy Duo. We'll go search up those pictures.
Toy Duo team or Toy Duo?
Just Toy Duo. Toy Duo.
Are you sure there's no other Toy Duos out there?
It doesn't matter.
Chances are there's no Toy Duo team out there.
Just hashtag Toy Duo, okay, with your pictures so we can find them. We'll put them together. We'll show them off and have a little contest, and there will be some giveaways along with that.
I'm glad I thought of that.
Good idea. Nobody's going to remember, or at least I'm not.
Star Wars related. And I'll post something, whatever. So anyways, that'll be like episode 100. Take your pictures, Star Wars related, post them, hashtag Toy Duo, and then we'll start putting them together, and we'll come up with like some sort of best of or whatever, and maybe we'll take the top 3 or 4 or something like that, or maybe the top 3, and then we'll do a runner up, and I'll put together something. Are
you giving away Star Wars items, right?
Probably
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek related stuff. We got a whole bunch of these.
31.
Got a whole bunch of these Playmates Star Trek figures I got to get rid of. I think the one that's very sought after is the really old Dr. McCoy, Admiral McCoy figure, still on card. But anyways, so that will be 2 episodes. So you got 2 weeks to kind of get your pictures taken. They got to be done before and posted by February 7th at noon on Pacific time to be included, because
You're going to need to write this up and
yeah,
show it on next week's stream.
Can't be. No, well, it'll be in the transcript, and because I can't be like adding stuff after that because I try to get everything done ahead of time. But anyways, episode 98, next week's 99. That'll be episode 100.
Wow.
So kind of crazy.
The final episode.
It'll be the hat episode where everybody will get upset because I take you off the screen if you don't have your Star Wars hat. Then you get upset. Then you're like, I'm out of here. And then the thing is, I try to put you back up. Then you won't be there. And then
Is that the episode we all get arrested because we didn't help somebody getting mugged or something like that?
Is that what happened on Seinfeld?
Yeah, that's what happened on Seinfeld. They all get arrested. Final episode.
I'll wake up from like, oh my gosh, and I'll be in like another live stream going, I don't know what happened. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. B.
What, pictures of what?
You press rewind. We don't want to hear Vern say all that again.
So Jumpy was saying that he was expecting a couple of pipeline figures. I think they actually said that they weren't going to be doing that pipeline anymore.
As much. Because they've contradicted that a couple times recently. But
I was 100% expecting that the next day there would be another reveal, and it was
Yahoo News.
And it was going to be like Carson Teva or something like that, like the big reveal that we didn't want to give you on our video. And it still boggles my mind that we don't have a figure for that.
You think they're doing it? Like, they're not making that figure out of like spite or something. Just
I think it might be. I think it might be at this point. I don't, because the only way, like one surefire way of getting a figure would be Lucasfilm. It like tells Hasbro you're making this figure, right? But that doesn't seem to have been the case. It seems like a no-brainer to make that figure because Paul is like a member of the collecting community and like one of us essentially. Yeah. So it's bonkers that they haven't done that and they haven't brought him on a stream to present it himself, right? And haven't found this like natural like synergy of bringing the community in with the the films or like I guess the shows and whatnot and the toys all together. It's just a no-brainer. I want to say it was maybe a couple months ago. Katie Sackhoff had him on her podcast, and I remember watching this clip, and I think they were talking about it, and he seemed kind of like I need to rewatch it. I think there was some like.
I think he's kind of
shown or something.
He might be kind of like upset about the fact that there's no figure for him yet.
Yeah.
And then they did a whole ship and a figure for somebody who was in like 18 seconds of another show.
Yeah.
So I can understand that a character that's been in like every TV series basically except for a Skeleton Crew and is most likely going to be in the movie that's coming up. Doesn't have
that's bonkers though. He should have been in Skeleton Crew.
No, I think that would to me, if he was in there, it just kind of was like, oh, is he the only X-Wing pilot in the galaxy?
Yeah.
I also have questions about. I also have contradictions about the timeline because, for a fact, I was told on the show that the timeline coincides with season 3 of The Mandalorian. But when
it comes after.
When I read the article, they said that it happens in the same year that The Mandalorian originally came out in, which is what
oh really?
After Yavin year 9 or something like that, which is 5 years after Return of the Jedi or something like that. And that if it coincides and if it happens in that year, there's no way it could have happened during season 3 of The Mandalorian, because season 3 of The Mandalorian, Filoni later says in an article that Grogu trained with Luke for 2 years.
I didn't even look into it that deeply. I was assuming it came after season 3 of The Mandalorian because that's when that one pirate Vane, the one Nikto, flew off from the Gorian Shard's ship and went off, and I thought he just hooked up with this crew afterward. They didn't
I think
address it. I suppose it could be before, but yeah.
I think this is what makes him go off to like do that other stuff, right? Like,
Okay.
so I think that this show, because there's no way, like if this happens in that same year, and you think about like the way the years go, and Grogu trains with Luke for 2 years, then season 3 of The Mandalorian is so many years after, right?
Yeah.
Then this show has to be happening around the time of the first season of The Mandalorian.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed it was after, because that one pirate character, but it could be before. I mean, they can certainly explain it. I don't think they've been explicit one way or another.
I spend a lot of time trying to fact check stuff that I'm told is fact, just because it bothers me.
I sense that there was some conversation I missed.
Yeah, yeah. So,
okay.
One thing is like, I try not to say, "Oh, it's fact" or whatever, because it's most of the things that I'm just pulling out of my memory, right? I'm not just reading from. And Wikipedia is not even right, so you can't even use that. But if you read all these guys' articles and you see like where they're saying stuff lies, then yeah, this is where it fell. But like, oh, it's been confirmed as fact, always bothers me when you can't cite your source.
Okay. Yeah.
Detective.
Right?
Yeah.
It's in your blood, man. You if you're gonna say something, especially on the internet, because everything you hear on the internet is true.
I did provide some false information about your Eric saying that
Ahsoka was my favorite. I wouldn't. That's not like offensive though. It's not true, but it's not offensive, even if it was the case.
I think it's pretty offensive.
All right, I think we're dragging this down now.
Yeah, I have to go to Full Moon Toys and Collectibles. They have a bunch of Star Wars figures I want to check out.
All right, make sure you take your Star Wars pictures and hashtag Toy Duo on your social medias to be included in the 100th episode special Star Wars photos contest. I should have made a slide. I'll probably do it next week.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun idea. I think it's a great idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
Yeah, I think it's just fun. That comes kind of, Eric, from when we used to do that.
Points of articulation.
Yeah, we used to have like challenges and stuff like that. So
I remember. I watched.
Yeah, so hopefully people will get involved and take some pictures of their stuff and post.
I have snow out there, man. I have an AT-AT right here. I have 2 AT-ATs.
Except for Dean never takes his toys outside because he's afraid of UV light touching them.
Who, me?
Ooh, me? All right. You guys got anything else going on?
I gotta unbox something, but yeah.
First video?
Oh, probably not, but yeah.
Right. I just put out a video if anybody's interested in checking out my I think it's like a 10-minute toy hunt. Vintage toys. It's a really awesome pickup in my opinion, but
all right. and then in a couple of weeks I'll probably do my very first popcorn bucket video.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, yeah. Can I guess which one you're gonna get?
The Hulk?
No, I have these really old Star Wars metal buckets. I'm gonna go grab them out of my garage and make a video.
Oh, okay.
You gotta take the trash out of them first, though, right? Yeah. So did you see the Captain America shield?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Toy Duo team. Thanks for hanging out this week, you guys, and roll the music.
Action, fear, and toy news. Talking movies and TV. All the planets can represent